Ladies and gentlemen, there is something written in the very DNA of a man that makes him willing to risk everything. A man will risk his life, his resources, his future, if the cause is great enough. The question is, what makes a man risk it all? Ladies and gentlemen, life is full of risks. Every day men step into danger, into uncertainty, and into the unknown. They put their lives on the line, invest their time, spend their resources, and exhaust their energy for something they believe is worth it. The truth is simple. A man does not risk for what he does not value. A man will give everything for what he believes is worth it. Look at history, look at society, look at business, look at relationships. A man will not sacrifice for what he does not see as important. If a man does not value it, he will not fight for it. If he does not see it as worthy, he will not invest in it. If he does not believe in its potential, he will not protect it. You see, men were created with a built-in instinct to protect, provide, and pursue. But that instinct is only activated when a man sees value. A man will fight for a vision if he sees it as something worthy of his name. A man will protect a woman if he sees her as something precious. A man will build an empire if he believes it is worth the work. But if he does not see the value, he will not take the risk. Show me what a man is willing to sacrifice for, and I will show you what he values. A man will spend money, time, energy, and commitment on what he deems important. That is why a man will go into battle for his country. That is why a man will risk his life for his family. That is why a man will stay up all night building a business. That is why a man will give his all to protect his vision. Because where there is value, there is sacrifice. But on the other hand, when a man sees no value, he withholds his sacrifice. If he does not value a woman, he will not commit to her. If he does not value his dream, he will not work for it. If he does not value leadership, he will not rise to the occasion. The measure of a man's sacrifice is always equal to his perception of value. The issue is not whether something is valuable, but whether the man sees it as valuable. Two men can look at the same thing and see two different levels of worth. One man sees a broken down building, another sees a gold mine. One man sees a simple woman, another sees a queen. One man sees a business idea, another sees a multi-million-dollar industry. What separates them? Perception. And perception determines effort. If a man does not perceive something as valuable, he will not give his best effort. He will not take responsibility. He will not pursue it. He will not invest in it. That is why some men abandon their families, because they do not perceive the value of fatherhood. That is why some men let go of opportunities, because they do not perceive the worth of discipline. That is why some men play with relationships, because they do not perceive the weight of loyalty. A woman never has to chase a man. When a man sees value, he will pursue. A woman never has to beg for commitment. When a man perceives her as valuable, he will protect. A woman never has to fight for attention. When a man sees her worth, he will invest. The problem is not that men don't know how to love. It is that men do not fight for what they do not see as worthy. That is why a woman must never lower her standards to get a man's attention. Because if a man does not see her as valuable at a high standard, he will not respect her at a low one. A queen does not convince a king to love her. She reveals her worth. And the right king will risk everything for her. A man is at his best when he is chasing something he believes in. When a man discovers his purpose, he will give up his comfort for it. He will wake up early and stay up late for it. He will endure pain for it. He will reject distractions for it. A man without purpose is a man without direction. But a man who knows his purpose is a dangerous force. When a man truly believes in something, he will risk failure, rejection, pain, and even his life to achieve it. But if he does not see value in his calling, he will waste his energy on things that don't matter. He will play with life instead of leading it. He will become a wanderer instead of a warrior. Every man must ask himself, what am I willing to sacrifice for? What am I willing to risk everything for? What do I see as truly valuable in my life? Because whatever you don't see as valuable, you will lose. A man who does not see the value of his vision will abandon it. A man who does not see the value of his woman will take her for granted. A man who does not see the value of his integrity will sell his soul for cheap pleasures. Because men don't risk for what they don't value. A man was never designed to live without purpose. He was never created to exist without direction. A man without purpose is like a ship without a sail. He drifts, he wanders, and he moves without intention. But when a man finds purpose, he finds meaning. When he discovers his reason for being, he finds a cause greater than himself. And when a man believes in something greater than himself, he will risk everything to achieve it. Throughout history, every great man has been defined by the risks he was willing to take. Not for pleasure, not for fame, not for temporary gain, but for purpose. A man will never give his best effort to something he does not see as connected to his destiny. But when he recognizes that his purpose is on the line, he will go through fire, endure storms, and push beyond his limits to fulfill it. A man's greatest risks are never about money. They are never about power. They are never about comfort. A man's greatest risks are always about his assignment, his vision, his legacy. Because deep down, every man is wired with the need to accomplish something, to build something, to create something that will outlive him. And that is why when a man finds his purpose, he finds his mission. And when he finds his mission, he finds the risk worth taking. A man is at his most powerful when he knows what he was born to do. Because when a man finds his true purpose, he will give up comfort for it. He will wake up early and stay up late for it. He will turn down distractions and reject mediocrity for it. He will sacrifice relationships that do not align with his vision. He will walk away from environments that do not feed his growth. Purpose gives a man clarity. It gives him discipline. It gives him focus. Without purpose, a man will waste time. He will waste energy. He will engage in meaningless activities that do not move him forward. But when a man has a sense of why he exists, every decision he makes is intentional. Every step he takes is calculated. And every move he makes is designed to push him closer to his destiny. If a man claims to have purpose, but is unwilling to risk anything for it, he does not truly believe in it. Because purpose demands sacrifice. Purpose requires giving up the temporary for the eternal. Purpose requires trading short-term pleasure for long-term impact. A man who truly understands his purpose will let go of anything that threatens it. That is why men who have discovered their purpose are willing to walk away from jobs that don't align with their calling. That is why men with vision will turn down opportunities that look good but do not serve their mission. That is why great men of history left behind wealth, comfort, and safety to pursue something greater. Because purpose is not about what is easy, it is about what is necessary. When a man does not know his purpose, he becomes reckless. He misuses his strength. He wastes his potential. He plays with life instead of leading it. A man without purpose becomes a wanderer, moving from one thing to the next, looking for meaning in all the wrong places. A purposeless man becomes destructive, not just to himself, but to those around him. He wastes time in relationships that have no future. He spends money on things that do not add value. He entertains habits that drain his energy. He surrounds himself with people who keep him stagnant. A man without purpose is a man without restraint. He does not know what to fight for, so he fights for nothing. He does not know what to protect, so he lets everything fall apart. He does not know what to build, so he builds nothing. And when a man does not risk for purpose, he eventually risks losing himself. Every great reward requires risk. No man has ever built anything of value without stepping into uncertainty. No man has ever created anything significant without putting something on the line. The reason why some men succeed while others fail is not because of talent, intelligence, or background. It is because of the level of risk they are willing to take for what they believe in. A man who plays it safe will never walk in greatness. A man who refuses to step out of his comfort zone will never reach his full potential. A man who is afraid to lose will never experience true victory. Because purpose does not come without a price. The question is, what are you willing to risk to fulfill your assignment? because a man's greatest risk is tied to his purpose. There is a law in life that cannot be denied. Men are created to fight, but women determine what they fight for. A man is naturally built for battle. He was designed to conquer, to protect, to provide, and to build. But a man does not fight for just anything. He fights for what he believes is worthy of his effort, his time, and his sacrifice. History has proven that men will go to war over a nation, battle for a cause, and lay down their lives for something they believe in. But if you study closely, you will find that at the heart of every great movement, behind the courage of every great warrior, and within the vision of every great leader, there was a woman who influenced what he fought for. A man is driven by the battles he chooses, but those battles are often shaped by the woman he loves, the woman he honors, or the woman he desires to protect. A woman does not have to demand a man to fight for her. Her presence, her standard, and her influence determine what he is willing to fight for. A man will fight to protect what he values. A soldier will die for his country because he sees it as a part of his identity. A father will protect his children because he sees them as an extension of himself. A husband will sacrifice for his wife if he sees her as a treasure. But if a man does not perceive something as valuable, he will not fight for it. A woman must understand that she does not have to beg for a man's protection, provision, or loyalty. She must only position herself as valuable, and the right man will fight for her. A queen never chases a king, yet every king desires a queen to protect. A true woman never competes for attention, yet a real man will give his all to prove that he is worthy of her presence. When a man sees a woman who carries herself with grace, confidence, and wisdom, something in him awakens. He no longer sees her as temporary entertainment. He sees her as something worth securing. When a man meets a woman who knows her worth, he does not treat her casually. He shifts from being careless to being intentional, from being passive to being protective, from being a wanderer to being a warrior. Because a woman's value determines a man's level of commitment. A woman cannot change a man, but she can inspire what he fights for. She cannot force him to grow, but she can challenge him to rise. She cannot control his actions, but she can influence his decisions by the way she carries herself. If a woman accepts mediocrity, a man will remain average. If she tolerates disrespect, a man will continue to be careless. If she lowers her standards, a man will never rise above them. But when a woman sets a high standard, a man is forced to make a decision, either rise to meet it or walk away. A woman's presence should be a call to greatness, not an excuse for complacency. She should be the reason a man strives to be better, not the reason he remains comfortable in his weakness. A man will either fight to prove he is worthy of her, or he will remove himself because he cannot handle the weight of her value. A woman who knows who she is does not settle for being an option. She becomes the prize. And when a man sees a woman as a prize, he fights differently. He moves with purpose. He becomes strategic.